So let's take a look at their deck list here. We've talked about Cade a little bit in the Nexus context, but looking here, it actually looks like Oosh has gone in a stealth direction.
Oh man, it's almost like there's a card we just saw that should be in this list.
Oh
but, it's not there
man,
yet.
yep. Well, he's working with the stealth we've got, which is still, I think, pretty solid.
Yes.
He's got a lot of really cool cards here that are going to do a lot of work. We've got a dagger, paperclip, refractor style rig, along with some interesting little includes, like one of hunting grounds.
Oh, neat.
Use of professional contacts, 2 employee strike.
Nice.
Actually, in this matchup, employee strike could be extremely brutal
Yes.
against Kevin Kennedy's Blue Sun.
And I mean, we've seen Michael's Blue Sun here. Kevin Kennedy's looking at his list. I'm not really certain it's that different. Does he include the Scorch package here?
So it looks like there is absolutely no kill in Kevin's deck. He's opted instead for the pure Glacier option. It's got 2 of Ash and some Oak Towns. Dedication ceremony actually could lend us to believe he's going to score things out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
2x guard and some really nice ice. Who knows? I think this is a deck that could go fast, go slow.
Yeah, for sure.
And hopefully he finds a way. So in these
those sleeves, those card sleeves.
Oh man, so funny. You gotta wonder in this scenario, Kevin there. He's seen a lot. He's been around the block, very seasoned guy. I can only imagine, having run Whalen before, I've done it myself. Shapers are scary, man.
Yeah.
You got those crazy big remotes. You feel really nice. A lot of players can't get in, but Shapers will find a way.
Right.
And so Kevin will have to make some really good calls about when to go for it and when to hold back. And if he does, Oosh just gets set up even more.
That's true. And I mean, speaking of his setup, again, story of the entire tournament. Even Oosh in Kate on Temujin.
Why not?
Yeah,
every single runner.
It's if there's anyone out there currently that has not played with Temujin in their deck, it is good. It's just good. It's so quick.
There's just no doubt anymore.
Yeah, you could play it. You could play it at the start of the game.
Yep.
It's just so amazing. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Oh wow. Whoa.
All right, both players having a huge economic start. Kevin with the slightly more unconventional one, utilizing the combination of Dedication Ceremony and Grindel Refinery.
Yes. Yes.
What a cool combo.
Yeah. I mean, it helps them get some early quick money. Yep. Dedication Ceremony also, we've seen primarily used in the Hinky's IG deck.
Yes.
For Ronin. That's not Kevin's plan here.
Nope.
But I mean, this is a pretty good option here for some quick cash.
Kevin very pleased to get up that credit lead on Oosh there. And Oosh, you have to wonder, is he eyeing that credit pool and getting a little nervous?
Yeah. I mean, I think that if you're Oosh, you don't know what Kevin has. You're not sure if he's running a kill package.
Yep.
So you have to be a little reserved. You have to be careful.
Yes. All right, set up on both sides.
Yeah, he's going to lock out that Temujin.
Kevin locks it out. Really nice. Particularly in Blue Sun, you can be really flexible with your ice there. So Kevin happy to just seal up his servers.
This is fantastic.
Yep. Ooh, and that is a Caduceus. That is what Kevin wants to see. It's a little porous, but along the way, it's going to be fairly taxing for Oosh. His one link is going to help, but Kevin has just made himself 3 free credits.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
And I mean, I think this is a unique trade. I think Kevin's very much saying, hey, you want money? You like money? I like money too.
Yep.
So are you willing to trade me here, pound for pound? I gain 3, you gain 4.
Sure. I think that's totally fair. Both players pleased with that interaction, and there you go. Oosh heading into, it looks like R&D, if I'm not mistaken.
This is a big res. Oh, wow.
Wow, and a big toll booth hit there. 3 credits down on Oosh's side. Kevin pretty happy to have that one there. And Oosh, unfazed, continuing on into HQ.
Kevin's wondering, he's like, hey, should I res this here? What's the worst that could happen?
Yes.
What's the worst? Does he have an agenda in hand? Do we know?
Haven't seen his hand recently, unfortunately. Not sure what might be in there. We know there's no traps, no tricks, just solid stuff, but Yeah, could be nice. Just keep him out. And there he does.
What's the worst thing?
Wow.
Okay.
Oosh. Excellent play here is using Employee Strike to great benefit, forcing Kevin to commit those credits into the 3 pieces of ice.
Yep.
And now unable to pick them back up.
And I mean, that's pretty solid there. I mean, Kevin probably was going to set up some sort of scenario where he got money back instantly from rezzing all 3 ice.
Yep.
He may have even, I would have factored in, the Blue Sun ability into my decision to res all 3.
Sure.
So that in-play strike definitely just throws a wrench in some plans here if Kevin wanted to boost his economy up.
Yep.
After that turn.
And unfortunately, that's also going to shut off the possibility of using Overstate AI for economic gain.
Yeah.
Still could be used for a nice clutch res to block off Oosh, but not going to be able to bounce that back to hand.
As the game gets further, definitely Kevin will want to return that hive because after a while, obviously, when he starts when agendas start getting scored, the card does become blank.
Right.
Less powerful.
But I don't know about scoring agendas anytime soon.
Yeah.
It really depends on the ice that he can gain to set up any sort of sizable remote. We will have to see. So I think Kevin fairly secure in this moment. Great ice on all the centrals there. Not something that Oosh wants to tango with anytime soon, but really can't present much of a threat, and I imagine Oosh is just content to set up.
Yeah, I think right here, there's another ruined. Money's going to be super important. Blue Sun is, Kevin has a lot of very large ice, and his ability, assuming it comes back to him, is going to allow him to res that super expensive ice. So Oosh is going to need a fair amount of credits, even though he's running stealth. He's gonna need some pieces here. Setup is super critical right now.
Absolutely, particularly because Ash is going to be involved in this matchup, and I don't believe Oosh is running the Prince of Space Kitten there, so Ash is going to be well and alive. An interesting include on Kevin's side, that rumor mill has really scared off, I think, a lot of players from the Caprice, Batty, Ash plan, and Kevin Kennedy just decides, you know what, I'm gonna brook the trend. I'll go Ash.
Yeah,
and maybe it'll pay off.
And look, right on time. There's a refractor. So we've
very nice.
I mean, granted, he's still gonna get taxed to 3.
Yep.
But you can't. This has got to be one of the most efficient ways to get through Tollbooth. So
absolutely,
this is actually kind of a great thing here. Oosh is playing stealth here versus Kevin.
Right, and as we saw earlier, Hunting Ground in hand, and if you remember, Hunting Ground is actually going to negate that encounter effect.
Oh, that is so good.
For Oosh, and
it's
going to just shut off that toll booth. Nice little one influence include for Oosh.
I live for those. I live for those little one includes that change the game.
Oh, yeah. So quality. Oh, man, and with an SMC as well, that is presenting a decent threat to Kevin attempting to score out. But I imagine he has to do so fairly soon. Employee strike sitting there like a bad omen.
Yeah, if Kevin – is Kevin running hostile infrastructure – or, excuse me, hostile takeover?
So let's take a look at his agenda package here. 3X Project Atlas, 3X Oaktown renovation. I saw 3X Hollywood renovation down here. If I'm not mistaken, that might be all.
So wow, he's running no hostiles.
Yeah, no ability to easily sneak out an agenda. And so it's going to be down to the remote play between these two players, and Kevin will need to secure a solid remote to get an agenda score.
Now this technical rider here, I know that it goes in, it goes out, and a lot of decks. Just it really depends on the meta. Oosh having this pretty early is definitely going to set him up for some major credit economy. And look at this, now he breaks Tollbooth for 2.
Oh, dang.
It's so good.
That value is so immense. Hunting Ground going to do a huge amount of work here in combination with Stealth. Easy break, and yeah. Sad times.
Yeah, I mean,
for Kevin.
And this is kind of sad because Tollbooth, he paid 8 for that. Now I know that Oosh has got a lot of pieces in play to mitigate dealing with this Tollbooth. It's very specific.
Right. Oh, and there he goes for it. That is an install upgrade, install agenda advance. We can only imagine that is a Project Atlas.
Yes.
With an Ash.
Yeah.
Can Oosh challenge it? Clone chip on the board, ability to break any code gate quite easily. What does Kevin have in store from him?
I mean, Kevin's got to be this aggressive. Eventually, there will come a point where the stealth rig will allow Oosh to get in. I mean, for relatively low cost.
Yep.
I mean, there's no way to keep him out. So pushing early while he's still setting up is his best plan here.
There you go, Ghost Runner on the board, pretty nice. Oosh challenges, goes in.
And he's got the SMC and a clone chip. I mean, ooh.
Nice, so that is going to be a big ol' hive in the second rung of that remote. Oosh on paperclip. Clone chip on the board. Let's see, 6 and 5. Total of 11 credits. Ghost Runner might just push him over the edge, but do you burn Ghost Runner on this and get paperclip out? And then has to face down that Ash. I mean, I think Oosh is not necessarily favored in this situation.
No, not at all. This looked a little better when he had more money.
Yep.
Now sitting at 9, that Ash trace might just prove to be too much.
There
Or
you
even
go.
worse, he doesn't want to make it into the server, beat the Ash trace, but then the Ash just stays.
Yeah.
Now you're just, it's just going to be useful later.
Right. All right, there you go. Let's see, Kevin drawing up, and 1, 2, 3.
Bam.
Atlas on the board. Employee strike is off, and
Doesn't he have another one? Does he have another
is
employee
great.
strike now?
so Kate, Oosh is running 2. Can't recall if it is in hand. That would be a really clutch draw. Professional contacts might be a time to do so, and it does actually look, I believe, like there is the employee strike in the back of his hand there.
Okay.
It
So
does
he could put
appear.
it back. Oh, there it is.
And there it is, the
Boom.
big old drop of employee strike, and right on into R&D. RDI on the board, and just easy access.
Nice.
Finds Project Atlas, great
All right.
snag. Yep,
He might want to move it away from employee strike there.
can't forget it.
Don't want to forget you got it.
Hey.
This is very nice. I mean, I think that Oosh is definitely on his way. R&D's locked right now. Kevin doesn't have a lot of money, and that employee strike is critical in ensuring that Kevin can't just bounce back very quickly by having a hive or another piece of ice there.
Right.
This is looking pretty good for Oosh as long as he can maintain his pressure.
It is possible, Kevin running 2 Grindor refineries there, as well as Jackson and Elizabeth Mills, and I believe an executive boot camp. There are ways of tempting Oosh into that server, and with Paperclip being his breaker of choice, and Hive still at 3 subroutines,
Yeah.
that's a somewhat of a tax.
It is. It actually is. And it is, to be honest, it's still very much gonna tax the Paperclip because he has to pay 3.
Yep.
There's not a great stealth barrier option here. He looks at 2 more.
All right.
Wow, Orion.
Orion, big ice there. Probably not a lot of benefit. Professional contacts, as we do see there, has also hit the board. That's going to be really great for Oosh.
Yeah.
Still quite a bit of deck to go and quite a bit of things to install, which is going to be especially great for that technical rider.
Yeah, actually, he had the technical rider before in his hand, but he installed the clone chip before he installed the other technical rider. I'm assuming he just played very quickly.
Perhaps. Might have missed that.
He did, however, get his free Kate discount. So hey, it's still value. There's still value.
Still
there.
value.
Whoa.
Nice. Big old oversight curtain wall there. Not going to be able to pick it up, but it still, as we mentioned, presents a really credible threat.
Yes.
And it's going to be just huge break on Paperclip. Really tough.
Do you think Oosh is going to install Plasticate here? He has to. He has to.
With what we've seen so far, I still think you could argue Kevin has not shown enough to take Scorch off the table.
That's fair.
So yes, a Plasticate is a fairly reasonable choice. Oh, Oaktown renovation. Kevin would have loved to see that incredible agenda for Wayland, and would have forced out that run, but
what?
No.
What? Wow. Oh man.
All right, mirror hits the board. Oosh, full up on MU. Not a lot of breakers.
Now this is getting dangerous because we know that that Kevin is runs 3-point agendas.
Yes.
And granted, that does help his agenda density here, but any accesses whatsoever make this game very dangerous for him. Yeah, he's going to go for that. Let's train. I think that's probably the right call.
There you go. Tutors it out. He says, you're on 1 credit. come and get it.
Yes.
Technical Writer is sitting there in the background. It's going to allow Oosh to credit back up, but still, it's going to be pretty tight.
Now, that being said, it only takes Oosh technically 1 credit to get an R&D and see 2 cards.
Yeah, and you might as well. Unfortunately, with the spending of influence there on Archive Memories and 2 Toll Booth, not a lot of room left over for Global Food Initiative.
No.
Tends to be the Glacier card of choice.
Oosh looking at curtain walls, trying to determine, hey, is it possible for me to get in? And I think the answer is nah.
Yep.
It's a big nope. Pretty big nope.
Oosh drawing up, seeing if he can find some answers to this situation.
Oh, there's a dagger.
Dagger, pretty nice. The Caduceus break it's okay. Decent value.
If you're Oosh, you have to run RD though, right? You have to.
Oh, I mean, you get that great access every turn. You might as well.
All right.
2 cards, and not much Kevin can do about that, unfortunately.
Nice.
All right, so Oosh is going to end his turn. Great board, but not able to challenge Kevin. And Kevin, I believe, is going to very happily get that Atlas at the door.
Now, Kevin, does he run Global Food?
So there's no influence left over, unfortunately, I think,
Okay.
for Global Food to fit in there.
All right. So he's just, man, he's rocking just the standard 5-3s.
He's doing the Wayland thing, man. Believe in the power of Wayland to carry him there. And, yeah, tough spot.
And I bet Kevin's trying to determine what he should pop up here. I think, okay.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, sorry, yeah, PeachHack was still in the field. So he scores the Atlas, overscores 2 counters. If you're
Nice.
Now that also means that now Hive only has 1 subroutine.
Correct.
Paperclip could come into play and break through it fairly easily, but that oversight AI does work.
Oh, yeah. If Oosh is not able to recur the employee strike for whatever reason, then, yeah, Kevin's going to be able to really bounce back hard in this game economically, and maybe can set up a decent defense to Oosh's overwhelming stealth presence.
$3. The Bucks. The Bucks side. I don't know.
Cyberbucks.
So he's got a few credits on technical writer. So I mean, he can, in an emergency, in a pinch, he can definitely spend the money.
Oh yeah.
What I'm wondering is this the time? Okay, Oosh thinks so. He thinks this is the time you go.
Yep.
So what's his plan?
Yep. So Tamuja's going to go down, probably targeting R&D or HQ.
I think R&D's
I
fine.
imagine R&D is pretty appealing.
Okay. And I mean, we know that he can. I don't know if Kevin can actually res the new piece of ice, but we know that he can definitely get past the tow booth twice because of the mirror.
Yes.
And
Only a few credits. Kevin is going to be hard pressed to defend this run, and like you said, with Hollywood renovation in the deck, this could all be over in a single access.
Ooh.
There's Caduceus there, just enough, 3 credits. That's going to present a bit of a tax to Oosh. Pretty good.
So he's firing the second trace for ETR.
Yep, gonna
So
allow
yeah, Oosh just pays 1.
to fire. It is the same amount, but oh well. They hit the toll booth there. Fabulous value, hunting grounds, refractor, and off the top we see Ash and dedication ceremony. Really nice.
Looking ahead, if you're okay, never mind. I was about to ask that question. So Kevin decides, hey, I'm just going to take this curtain wall back up. We're going to gain some money here.
Yep. Pretty nice, getting him back into a huge amount of money and safely curtain wall back in hand from that oversight play there. Really nice for Kevin, and it's back into the game here, right? Kevin, Atlas token, money, Blue Sun ability. There are possibilities.
Yeah,
there
for sure.
Potential.
For sure. I mean, I feel like Kevin can very easily bounce back and get an agenda scored. It's going to take a little bit of luck, right? He has to. Hopefully, Oosh doesn't hit anything on R&D, while Kevin's getting his board set up to be a bit more protected.
Yes.
He's not going to have to deal with rumor mill. It doesn't look like he's not going to have to deal with like a stem hack. Stealth is super efficient, but there's still a lot of pieces missing, and they take money.
Yeah.
Kevin has a limited window, but it's still a window. He can do this.
Absolutely. if he could put something on that remote there, perhaps the second toll booth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Ash, that would force Oosh to run that server twice, and on the second time through, Hunting Ground is not going to prevent the tax.
Yeah, exactly.
And so a combination of Ash and really decent ice is going to present a challenge to Oosh. Yeah. And maybe Kevin has a window there.
Yeah, I think so. I really do feel like it's possible for Kevin to carve out a window. Knowing he doesn't have any kill cards either, I imagine that Atlas may just be used to go for the winning agenda that he needs.
For sure. So actually, it looks like he's gone install advance for the second rung of ice there on the remote, and you have to imagine that is big old Orion.
Yeah, I think Kevin gets to slow roll this a little bit, and I think that this might be fine.
Yes.
Slow rolling this might be a good idea. That being said, Oosh has another R&D interface in hand. So, I mean, he may just switch his gear just completely into focusing on R&D. It wouldn't be a bad idea here.
So this is a tough call on Kevin's part, right? He's got these big pieces of ice. He could deploy them in different spots, but you really have to commit there. Do you try and slow him down on R&D, or do you hope that he doesn't hit and have a more secure remote? It's a tough call.
And, yeah, Oosh is gonna punish R&D here. This is not good. This is not good for Kevin.
Yep. Easy breaks, stealth, making it rain.
And then gains 4.
Oh
Temujin, ladies and gentlemen.
Dedication, executive boot camp.
CVS.
And a Cyberdex.
Okay.
Yep.
It's kind of rough, though. It's also interesting noting that there's not, Kevin has not thrown an agenda down.
Yep.
Yeah, I think returning the Hive is probably good also.
Totally fair, getting that value back. Hive not going to do all that much, although Paperclip has not hit the board yet.
Nope.
But we can imagine it can be tutored quite easily.
Do you think to tax Oosh, he throws this Hive, which isn't very good right now, but throws it on R&D? Nope. Oh, wow.
Maybe.
And Kevin does an install and advances that piece of ice twice.
All right. We have not been able to see Kevin's hand basically this whole game. Very secretive guy over here doing what corporations do and keeping it tight. So we are not sure what's in there. We have to assume at least one of those cards is an Ash, and the other one, who knows?
Yeah. And at the amount of money Kevin has, Oosh usually has a Beth. Beth Kill Rank Chain.
Beth.
My girl.
She's there.
I think if you're Oosh, I don't even think it matters. I understand he's at 8. I think he's still installed Beth.
Look at that credit pool on Kevin's side. It's going to be
Beth.
really close to 15, if not 15, for most of the game. And that click is nothing to scoff at.
I would look at it as there's probably at least 2 to 3 turns left in the game.
Yep.
And she will still give you at least that value.
There you go.
Even if you install it right now.
Sure. I agree. Pretty nice.
And I mean, I can easily see Kevin. He's got to be at like 12 to 15 right now. Gosh, and I think Oosh is in that position where the run is so easy to get in.
Sure, you might as well. Executive boot camp, Crisium grid,
that could be wow.
And Oversight AI. Unfortunately, the Crisium grid not going to stop much with those R&D interfaces and no run events. Not what Kevin wants to see again.
Not at all. And I think if this is an agenda for Kevin, he popped the Hive back up.
Yep.
I think maybe because it's just the best choice and it may not be usable anymore.
Sure. It's also possible that he's going to go for the agenda score here. Having not seen his hand, we don't know if agendas have been in there. Actually, I don't think Oosh has checked HQ a single time.
Yeah.
So could be anything in there, and it looks like actually Kevin is going for the win.
Yeah, I think I very much agree with this. Now, to be fair, it did shuffle R&D, so Oosh is going to get some fresh accesses. He's got a lot of choices here.
Wow. Kevin going ahead and applying that dedication ceremony. That is going to set up Hollywood Renovation for the score next turn, and he's got a second rung of ice there on that remote. Can Oosh get in? 2 upgrades. You have to imagine Ash. Is it going to be enough?
Yeah, I mean, Oosh does not have enough money to get past that Ash. So it's going to, and whatever ice is in front of that server. So I think he does go all in on R&D here.
Yeah, R&D definitely gives him those guaranteed accesses. Could get really lucky and eke out the win. We'll see if he gets there on R&D, if it's enough. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Nothing. Big whiff for Oosh on R&D. I guess got to go remote. Got to challenge it.
That's it, man. You gotta move.
There's nothing else.
Take a peek.
Make it rain.
And maybe you hit HQ here. I mean, HQ is wide open.
I guess you'd have to get really.
Are there cards in hand? There has to be cards in hand.
Quite lucky, yeah. I do believe secret cards. Oosh. Money's up. And goes on in.
No res, no res. Orion. Ooh.
So there it is, big old Orion.
Wait, have all the stealth cards been used?
Easy res. He probably got one stealth back via the mirror.
Right. Okay. So dagger can be 10. It can be strength 10, but if there's Ash in the remote,
yes,
that cuts it out.
It's going to be pump, and then triple break on the Orion, and an Ash is going to seal the deal. Okay, so Oosh has gone ahead and take the 4 credits from R&D. This might actually change up the math here. Kevin's still with a huge credit, well, sizable credit pool.
Yeah.
10, 15 credits over there.
He's got a link plus 8.
Yep.
So is that actually enough? Kevin's got
lock him out.
2. I think Kevin at least has 7. In which case, an Ash would be enough.
Yep.
It would be directly. I think Ash would be 8.
Right.
And we haven't even considered the fact that he has to break sub. So yeah, I think Kevin's safe here.
Seems good. But we'll leave it to these guys to figure it out.
The serious face shot right here. This is the action shot. Everybody loves the action shot.
He's going to try. He might as well. Before he accesses,
bam.
There it is. Ash, 2X3ZB9CY.
Come at me, bro.
There he is.
God, he has so much money. He has way more money than I thought.
Man. And Kevin, happy to just dump it in.
Commit me, bro.
Easy value. Oosh on 5+ link. It might just be enough.
He just trashes.
Yep. Trash dead Ash.
That's right. He gets an extra click.
Okay.
Because when he started his turn, Kevin had 15 credits, or more than 15.
That's right.
So this was click 4.
However, Oosh unfortunately now looks like he is out of stealth credits.
Yeah.
And breaking through an Orion twice is no joke.
Brutal. Oosh, just hit it. Just hit HQ.
Oosh.
I mean, I don't know.
I think it's your only route, man.
I mean, that's your only access, man.
Yeah, this remote looks locked down. Signed, sealed, delivered. Kevin appears to have this one pretty surely. Save a lucky access. Man, so Ash, a card people had completely written off in this meta.
Yes.
In fact, is likely going to be the
deciding factor.
The deciding factor in this matchup.
You have to commend Kevin here because it makes me wonder, what is that other card installed? Is it another Ash?
It could certainly be a second Ash. It appears that is the only other. Well, so there's also Crisium Grid.
True.
Could be an amazing remote Crisium Grid, which is just the clutchest play. I'll commend Kevin here. I think he's played a great game of Blue Sun. We've seen Blue Sun on a number of times today, and just great play by all players.
Yeah, man. Blue Sun here taking home. I mean, actually, there's 2 Blue Sun. 2 Blue Sun in the top 8. Wow.
Dang. You called it, man. They got potential.
They got potential. That's what it is. All right, guys. You got 1 click. You only have 1 click left.
Oosh, you got 5.5 minutes to figure it out if it is or is not possible. I just don't know.
I mean, in general, I can't even knock him for taking his time here. I mean, because ultimately, when it turns to Kevin's turn, he'll score that agenda if he can. So,
yeah.
I mean, really, the only question is, do we think Kevin's tossed it in archives, or is there one in HQ? There's not a way to get through to R&D again.
No. There he goes. Kevin scores it out.
All right.
7th point. Blue Sun. Awesome, awesome game. What great players. Kevin Kennedy.
Yep.
Just great work.
Yes.
In the face of, one of the strongest threats in the meta right now to Blue Sun, Employee Strike, still manages to find a way and just locks it down.
Yeah, I think comparing, Kevin's Blue Sun to Michael's that we saw earlier, I think that it's easy to look at Rumor Mill and say, okay, because the protection cards are, basically going to get blanked, it's really, really easy to just lose the game this way.
Right.
But also, I think the point that, Kevin is making, that Michael has been making, is just that the ice itself can just still be taxing enough.
Sure.
Sometimes you don't. Granted, I know all those defensive upgrades are very big, are very important, but sometimes you just need big ice, and the runner not to have enough money. That's it.
And the runner not to know what to expect. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen today both kill and a vegan-style Blue Sun, the flexibility of this identity to go either way and put the runner in a position where if you go too fast, you might be up against the wrong version of the deck and get scorched out.
Yeah, so true. So true.